Euthanasia. Central question is it the right to die or is it an excuse for murder? But what is euthanasia? Euthanasia has two distinct definitions. First of all, it is the intentional killing. This can be seen in two different ways. It can be seen as an act of killing or an omission of killing, or an omission to kill. By active killing, it is providing certain drugs, whether it be by lethal injection, by ingestion, things of this nature. Basically what Dr. Kevorkian was doing. The other type of death is by omission of a dependent human being for his or her alleged benefit. By omission, it is by taking away what is needed to sustain life. This is food, water, medication. This is the type of euthanasia that tends to happen more frequently because it is less detectable. It can be blamed on the patient. The patient was tonguing her meds. The patient was throwing her meds away. Things like this. It is still easily detected, but not as easily detected as doing an autopsy and finding a specific drug in their system. But why euthanasia? There are several reasons why people turn to euthanasia. The first is unbearable pain. Can you imagine living terminally in unbearable pain day in and day out, knowing that it will not go away? How many of you would want this existence? Would want to live this way, to stay in that hospital bed for years even, with that unbearable pain? Another question is the central right to choose. It is my life. If I do not wish to have this pain, if I do not wish to be this way, why should I? It is my right to choose whether or not I die. A third reason is not a reason many people think of, because when you think of a terminal illness, you don't think of dignity. You think of getting cancer, you think of getting AIDS, things like this, where the disease kills you. But what about dignity? What about dementia or Alzheimer's, where you lose all functioning? Where you no longer know who you are or who your loved ones are, and you have to be cared for 24/7 like a 2-year-old. Another reason, and this is also one that not many think of, is the grief and suffering of loved ones. If I were a parent, would I want to put my children through this? Would I want to put my brothers, my sisters, my husband, my parents through the pain of watching me deteriorate and watching me die? There comes a time when continued attempts to save a human life becomes inhumane. What this simply means is that by keeping a person alive continuously, it becomes unbearable not only to that person, but also to the doctors and the staff around them to watch them go through that. We put our animals down. We say it's humane. Is it not the same thing for us when we are terminally ill? Euthanasia, the con, bad side. With euthanasia, life becomes disposable. I can walk in there and say, I have a terminal illness, kill me. It's an excuse for suicide. Another reason why many are against euthanasia is a loss of communication. Take Alzheimer's, take dementia. Someone who had said that they want to die may have changed their mind later when they don't understand what is going on. Someone who has slipped into a coma or has lost the ability to speak, whether it be by a stroke or some other part of this disease, who at one point in time said, euthanize me, would then change their mind the closer they get to death. Facing a decision that is, say, a mile away is a lot different than facing a decision that is 3 feet away. Another reason why people are against euthanasia is also the same reason people are for euthanasia, is the effect suffered by both the families and the doctors. I don't want to be the one to decide to kill my father, but why should the doctor? The doctors take the Hippocratic Oath. Not to harm, not to kill. So therefore, with euthanasia, you are violating that Hippocratic Oath. The biggest reason, though, to be against euthanasia is the excuse for murder. If the killing of those terminally ill is legalized, where does it end? Yes, I have cancer. Yes, I have AIDS. Yes, I have Alzheimer's. I don't want to live this way, so euthanize me. But where does it end? If I am in prison, we already euthanize. It's called the death penalty. Is it not any different than euthanasia? But where does it end? If I have a terminal illness, but it is not going to kill me today, it's going to kill me in 10 years, and I'm still a functioning member of society, what's to stop them from saying it's time to go? Where does this end? What about the mentally handicapped? Is that then the next step? And if that, does it continue on to those who are not contributing members of society? People who, like my brother, the deadbeat, the 32-year-old living with my grandfather, meth addict, hadn't seen his kid in 5 years. He's not contributing. Should we kill him off? And then you kill off all of those, the non-contributing members. Those of us working minimum wage jobs that could easily be replaced by machines. Are we next? If you legalize euthanasia, it becomes an excuse. And where does this excuse end? Euthanasia. There are many pros and there are many cons. Internally, it is your own decision. It is what you believe in. It is what you've come to a basis on. It is a decision that has to be made through education. Because taking someone off the street who has not had any experience with someone they love dying, or who has not faced an illness themselves, is going to have a completely different reaction than someone who has watched their friends die, their mothers, their fathers, their children. It's circumstantial, and it is based on the biggest emotions we have, which is death. Thank you.
Thank you.